Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to get into some juicy details of how I was able to get away with not working for 2 years and still having the best 2 years of my life in the sense of traveling and all these experiences that I got to have. And don't get me wrong, I know completely it's a privilege to have to be able to even say that I was able to not work for the last 2 years. But it's also just a different perspective for you guys to have to maybe shift and to think about. Is this viable in your life? And, maybe just gives you a little bit to think about to not hustle so hard in life. Because I come from that as well. I come from the whole hustle culture. Let's do more, create more, make more, all that kind of stuff. And the last 2 years really taught me the opposite of receiving more and just being in my being. And so, the whole reason I began this kind of hiatus from work was I had an health, I wouldn't say a scare, but a situation. And I still currently have it. It's just in a better state than it was 2 years ago. I was diagnosed with a fibroid, which is basically a benign tumor in your uterus, which is actually really common with women, which is shocking. But not shocking at the same time if you know how health system works and all that kind of stuff. So 80% of women will get it. It's just, are you in the category of it affecting your life or not? A lot of women actually don't even know they have it, and they go on with their day. And there's also women who have it that also go on with their day, and there's also women who have it that is just debilitating to their life. Kind of in between two. When I made this really stern decision of, okay, like, I don't want to go through the whole surgical route because there really is not much of a great option other than getting a hysterectomy, which is having your whole uterus taken out. It's not like I'm thinking of having kids or anything like that, but that is a major organ of mine and a major procedure that I'm just not really down for. So the other option was to do it, and I still am, like, naturally, and a big part of that is to change your diet and change your day-to-day. Basically, stress, you have to minimize your stress, you have to be active, you have to eat super clean, and having like the eating super clean part is the most, I wouldn't say the most difficult, but it is in the sense of the type of lifestyle that I had back then. Back then I was working so much and so hard. I was trying to push my coaching business to the fullest, and there were times when I just didn't have time to cook, and we would be ordering out a lot. And ordering out, even if you're trying to order healthy, like, you really don't know exactly what is in your food and what is being used. And there's so many things that I couldn't eat that it was very difficult to find a restaurant that could, supply me with what I needed in my body. And so cooking takes a lot of fucking time, like, out of the day. Like, honestly, you gotta like prep, you gotta go, well, first you gotta go shop for your ingredients and then prep and then actually cook it and then clean up, and then you gotta do that a couple times a day. And it was just like, I don't have the time for this. And I think when I don't have time for something that I know is a priority, and it was just like a constant battle of like, I don't have time for this, but I like, my business needs me, but I need me. And so it was just like a constant clash, and it just felt so stressful to be in that state. And so I decided to take a break from my business, from everything, and to just take 3 months off. It was nothing. It was not like anything crazy. I was having a lot of anxiety about it. So I was talking to, my therapist and like my Reiki healer as well. And everyone was just saying like, you need to take the time for you. And 3 months is not that long. Like, see how it goes, and then you can adjust. And so I took 3 months, and then I extended it to 6, and then I extended it for a year. And then lo and behold, I extended it for 2 years, just because last year we were so busy with moving or selling the home and moving. And there was just so much other stresses that was going on. And like I said, it is a huge privilege for me to be able to even say that I am able to not work and to just focus on me and my health. But I made sure that I had a reserve to work from. And I calculated how much I could spend. And my wife was also on board of supporting me on this. And so it kind of shifted our roles a little, where she took care of expenses, and I supplemented with amounts that I could from my reserve every month. And then selling the house last year, we got a huge chunk of money from that, and that really kind of was able to give me an even more leeway of funds to use. And so beginning of this year, I was like, okay, I need to start creating some sort of income again, because it's trickling down. Like it's we also have more expenses now because of this new home. So I really need to start thinking about what that route's going to look like for me to bring in income, because that little cushion is getting smaller. But I would say, I didn't even realize it's been 2 years since I really worked. I always just thought, I just took a couple months off or whatever. But it's been 2 years already, and that has blown my mind. But within that time, I was very intentional with taking that time off. It wasn't just, I'm going to take my time and just focus on my health and like do nothing. It was very intentional that I wanted to take that time. Truly, I've never done this before, to be able to take time just for me. In any aspect, whether it's health, a physical, or my mind, or my soul. Like, it was just almost somewhat of the beginning of my true healing journey that I've been going on. I knew I had trauma to heal. I knew there was things that I didn't like about myself, and that I want to understand and myself more. So that's when I really, worked with different healers and different modalities, and just going so deep into myself. And not a lot of people have the opportunity to ever be able to do that, and I know that, and I'm very grateful for my life and my situation, that I was even able to take time off to truly just focus all of it on me and figure out what I enjoyed and what I loved and what I was passionate about, because I felt that slip away. When I was so all in on my coaching business, which I loved coaching my clients, but everything around it, like marketing and admin, all the stuff, all my other businesses that I've had, like, just took it out of me, and it almost drained me, and it almost felt like there was no passion in my life again. Like, I didn't really have a hobby. I didn't really have much other than wanting to learn how to coach people better and learn more about just skill sets of high performance and habits and all these kind of things. And I was, before coaching and having all these other businesses, I was a DJ for 12 years. Like, that was my creative outlet. Music was what I was passionate about. It's like my first love. And yet that faded away. Like, I haven't, touched the decks for so long when I was in that kind of space. And just thinking about that, I was like, fuck, like, do I not like it anymore? Do I have another passion that I can discover, or whatever it is? And so taking that time off to heal me, to understand me and where my reactions come from, really brought me closer back to music. And this goes back to my ayahuasca journey. That was 2 years ago in the summertime in Costa Rica. I highly recommend Reunion for you to go to. It's safe. It's like just a way they do it. It's an also, it's nonprofit, but the way they just handle their ceremonies and the whole week of your retreat, you just know is people truly doing it from a place of goodness and not for profit, not doing it just because it's like a trend nowadays. Like, they really know what they're doing, and they really go back to the lineage of the plant medicine and all of that. Like, it's a beautiful experience. It's a very hard experience, which I'm happy to talk about in another video if you guys want me to, of my plant medicine journeys. But that was, the first inkling that really connected me back to music. It was during one of my ceremonies. I just heard all these sounds, and like everything was coming together, and my body was flowing and vibing. And like, I've always just known that I'm supposed to be doing something with music and sound and just this beauty of it. And like I said, I was trying different modalities of healing, and I came across sound healing, and that's kind of like what was like the light bulb in my head of like, oh fuck, like I really enjoy this. I really enjoy sound healing, and truly, even when I listen to my house music or any like my own mixes too, I feel like it's so healing as well. So there's definitely like a healing property in sound and in music, and it's universal. And so this was almost like my evolution of being a DJ, like, and losing that passion for it because it started feeling like a job, just because of the gigs I was getting, the bureaucracy around it. It really took it out of me, of being the creative part. But then once I found sound healing, it was like, oh, like this makes sense, and this is where it feels juicy and good and delicious and all those nice words. So, taking that time, if I never took that time, I wouldn't have come back to music. I wouldn't have found what I truly feel is my purpose on this world. Even like in coaching and stuff, I felt like there was a purpose there for me, but I still felt some sort of imposter syndrome, even though, I've been a solopreneur for majority of my life. For at least 20 years of my life, I've been an entrepreneur. And so there was tons of experience and just ideas that I could bring to my clients. But there was still something that, I don't know, just didn't fully align. And so with sound healing and doing it with DJing and all this kind of stuff, it's exciting. It's more fun for me. It's something that, really comes truly easily to me. And so taking that time to heal allowed this part to come back to life. I needed to heal those parts of me that kind of needed to die with the old self of how I envisioned, my music career or my DJ career and all these things. And I'm not gonna lie, there's still stuff to work through now, but it's definitely in a better place for me to really feel passionate about something, and that I want to be creative and want to come back and do this. Like, that was one of the things that I said, if I was going to break my break, it needed to be something that truly made me happy and didn't feel like a grind. And I'll go a lot more in another video of like masculine and feminine energy, but that's what I realized too. So if you get it, you get it, in the sense of, I was coming from a very wounded masculine energy when I was running all my other businesses. It was very much of like, do, I need to control, I need to just take action and all this kind of stuff, which got me to places where I could then take time off and, heal, to lean more on my feminine side. But it's not easy. Like, there's things that are just ingrained in you for so long. And so being able to go deeper in my feminine, of going with the flow and feeling feelings and feeling what I wanted to do for the day, instead of, coming from a more logical mind of scheduling out my days and doing this and doing that. And it was just being more in flow. Like, what do I want to feel like doing? It was like reading, taking a bath, cooking, being active, going on a walk, walking the dogs, and just being more in flow. And just by that, really opened my eyes out. Like, how many people in this society may never get that chance to do that, because we have just been taught to be in the grind of the rat race for so long. Like, some people just are going off paycheck by paycheck, that there's just no opportunity for ever to take time off, because that's what society requires of us, to just be, right? Like, in true reality, when you've kind of gone on a healing journey, you understand that being is the most highest version that there is, where if we can just be in our existence, and that is it, like, that is where I want to live. Not having to do, and not having to prove, and not having to produce. It's just, I'm so ingrained in me. I'm so, like, I don't know what the word is, but like, I'm just so enjoying the present moment that I can just be, and that's enough. There's a lot of not enoughness and not worthiness, which is why I work so hard and like was pushing so hard, is because I didn't understand my heart and my self-love towards myself. And so, also, like, in the 2 years that I took off, like, it was the most I've traveled in a long time. Obviously, even pre-COVID, I traveled, but during these 2 years, I really traveled. And like every quarter, at least, I was going somewhere. And that opened my eyes to different experience. I think when you experience different cultures, different ways of living, and it really opens you up, having more empathy. And when you can have human connection with just other human beings around the world, it really opens your eyes up to possibilities and to how you're currently living. And so just those experiences really changed me and healed a part of me. Maybe that's also my Sagittarius sign. You know, I needed to have that freedom of traveling and see the world. And but it's unreal when I think back of like, holy shit, like I got to do so much. And because I made a intentional, conscious choice of wanting to not have to worry about making money. And that is something that I am really trying to focus not to put any weight on. Like, because I remember that weight of worrying about where's the next dollar coming from, where's the next client coming from, where's all that kind of stuff. And it is so fucking stressful. Like, it just takes everything out of you. It takes the joy out of life. Because then it's like, what is this all for? Like, I am grinding myself to make $1 to survive in this world. And that doesn't even seem to be enough. And so removing that thought really allowed other things to open up of what is the true meaning of life and what is the true meaning of existence. And, you know, believing in manifestation and all this kind of stuff, of like seeing how it truly works, right? Like, I truly felt that taking that time off was going to be the best for me in my future, and it just allowed me to see so many things in different ways. I don't know if that makes sense at all, to be honest. I'm just kind of going with it. But, and then this is also the first time I've truly reflected of my last 2 years. Yeah, wow. Like, such a growth period. I am such a different person, and I am absolutely grateful for being able to take that time off to even figure it out. I just don't think I would have been able to figure this out if I was still grinding and working with clients. And, you know, my focus and my mind would just be elsewhere. It wouldn't be on me. And I am the most important to me in this world. And I lost sight of that along the way. Like, I put so much weight on helping others that it felt like that was the most important thing for me to do for me. But that's still looking external. I needed to look internal. I need to be so ingrained in me and stand on my own 2 feet and feel powerful enough that is enough. And yeah, like, I can't express how I think everyone should be doing this, but like I said from the beginning, it's a privilege to be able to. But if you can figure out a way for you to take time off to truly intentionally focus on yourself, for even, like I said, like beginning, it was just going to be 3 months. Even if you just do a couple months, and not have anything on your schedule and not have anything like to worry about except just to be in the present moment. Like, really feel what that feels like. It's a different experience in this life that everyone should have access to. And even then, like, thinking about back in the day, I was like, oh, I want to be a multi-millionaire and billionaire. Not to say that I still don't. I still think money is important to be able to pursue and do these things and do the things you dream of and always wanted to experience. But I also think, you know, being very realistic about it. You know, those numbers, it's a bonus, because realistically, you know, what I need per month to survive is not, I don't need to be a multimillionaire. I don't even need to be a millionaire to be living the lifestyle that I want to be living. So really calculate what that number is for you. Because you might think, oh, I need XYZ amount to be able to do all of these things, like take time off or whatever it is. But if you truly calculate it, it may surprise you of how much lower it is. So you gotta question yourself, is this truly what is reality? Or is this what I've been told to want and have? Because those are two different scenarios. And so I would implore anyone, if you even save a little a month for a year or for like half a year, whatever it is, it may be enough for you to take a couple months off next year. It's like, experience what it is to not be in the matrix. And being in the matrix is in the doing and creating and consuming and buying into the idea that we all have to work to live and that we all have to work to just be worthy enough to just be in this world when it's not necessary. And also, I think what I would suggest is also just to have an opportunity to dive deep into yourself, whatever kind of healing modality that you want to pursue or you want to look into. Like, take that first step. It's always scary to take the first step, and seems like a lot to do it, but once you do it, like, it's going to change your life. So if you're feeling stuck, you're feeling uninspired, you are having the same reactions to things, to situations, there's parts of yourself that you can recognize that you don't truly love and enjoy, I think that is an indicator for you to start diving deep into here and to see what it's all about. Because there's nothing external that's going to come and save you. There's nothing external that's going to change your life until you take the responsibility of you. And so, yeah, I hope that has brought some sort of, thoughts of that's going to help you change your life in a better way. And maybe you resonate, maybe you've always thought about taking some time off, but you just haven't pulled that trigger because maybe it's fear. Most likely it's fear. But how long are you going to let fear dictate your life? We only have one chance at this, and once it's over, it's over. Are you going to really waste it just because of what society and other people tell you? Or you're going to take that leap and fall in love with yourself? So yeah, if you have any questions about this topic of taking time off, or you have questions about plant medicine or healing modalities, or how do you even begin that journey, feel free to drop your questions and your comments below, and I'm happily willing to answer and provide as much information as I can for what has helped me, and maybe it'll help you too. And so for now, check out my mixes that I've done that will help you just by listening to it. There's frequencies in them that will help you start healing. You can just play in the background, you can vibe with it, you can dance with it, whatever you want to do. But I'm creating these mixes that are easier for people to listen to and get those healing effects, just to calm your mind or calm your nervous system, just so that you can feel a little better. We as humans suffer enough in this world, in mind, body, and soul. We go through a lot of suffering, but we're also extremely resilient. And we get through each day by getting through a lot of shit. So don't take yourself for granted, and give yourself grace. You are worthy, you are enough. You've just been taught otherwise. And it's time to find yourself back by going deep into yourself. And I wish that for everyone on this planet Earth is the opportunity for them just to refine their true selves and to return to their heart. I hope that resonated, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.